Hello and welcome to another 140k Imperial Guard Tactics video. Now before we get into today's video, I'd like to say a huge thank you to Lucas Goodgame for sending in some truly awesome pictures of his Krieg 261st Siege Regiment. Really enjoying the amount of Krieg pictures that are being sent into the channel recently. I love a good Krieg army. I think the more I look at these different Krieg armies, the more I just fall in love with the Krieg and make me want to turn the channel into Krieg glory. Alright, maybe not quite that far, but I do love a good Krieg army. So thank you for sending these pictures, Lucas. They look absolutely fantastic. You've done Krieg and you've done the Emperor proud. If anyone else has got any cool pictures they want me to use in my videos, please post them on my Facebook page, or you can email them to me at mordianglorytv@gmail.com. But without further ado, let's crack on with today's video. So today, guys, I'm going to be talking about a pretty crazy topic. I'm going to be covering a really small upgrade in the Imperial Guard Codex that I think has been overlooked and has actually got a little bit of a lease on life, a new lease on life going for it. I'm talking about the Auger array. Now, I bet there's a lot of new Guard players out there that have never seen an Auger array in their life, never even heard of the upgrade and don't know what it is. And I wouldn't blame you. When it was first revealed in the old 8th edition Codex, it was kind of seen as a total waste of time. But things have changed a lot since then. And I think that if you've got a couple of, you've got like 5 or 10 or 15 points left over in your list, I think you can do much worse than sticking a few Auger arrays on your vehicles. Now I'm going to explain what it does for those people that have no idea. Basically, it's a 5-point upgrade and it allows you to re-roll 1 hit roll at a game, I should say. So it's kind of like a hunter killer missile. It's instead of firing off your missile and then it's done, you fire off your Auger array and it lets you get 1 re-roll a game. Now that doesn't sound great. I mean, we do have other sources of re-rolls, like Cadians just naturally re-roll 1s, right? But when you actually think about it, there aren't a huge amount of sources in the Guard Codex of just have a full-on, straight up, flat out re-roll. And actually, it is kind of a nice little upgrade to have. Now, when 8th edition first dropped, there wasn't much reason for it because, well, apart from like demolisher tanks, a lot of the weapons that could take advantage of this were kind of lackluster. I mean, why would you want to have a reroll on your Chimera? I don't really care. I mean, having a reroll on a Sentinel might be nice, but the whole point of Sentinels is they're cheap armoured platforms. I mean, you suppose you could put them on your Lehman Rusties, but then, like I said, apart from Demolisher Cannon, you're looking at a lot of damage like D3 or whatever. It's not great. So it was originally kind of like poo-pooed, and then it sort of dropped off and people just kind of forgot about it. But now we're kind of in a different situation because things have changed, like I said. Now we have access to multiple sources of flat damage 3. I'm talking full payload artillery, like a Manticore, like a Basilisk, and we've got Gatekeeper as well. The relic for the Cadian, from the Cadian supplement, that's a relic battle cannon with a flat damage 3. Now that is interesting because I'm not saying put Auger arrays on every single one of these vehicles. Or every single vehicle in your army, I should say. But if I had 15 points left over and I was running Cadian and I was running Gatekeeper and 2 full payload Manticores, I'd happily spend the 15 points on that. It's less than 1% of my army value. Yet it allows me to potentially get a full reroll on a flat damage 3 weapon, which is big. It's actually really, really big. That's a dead Custodian Guard. That's, you know, a dead Terminator. It's a lot of it pretty much squashes any infantry out there, and against any light vehicles. There are a lot of light vehicles floating around these days. It can halve a wound on a flat vehicle if you get it through. Another way of looking at it is that it also stacks kind of well with things like load, fire, reload. Because if you get a miss with your Manticore and you use your Auger array to re-roll it, and then you get a hit, but not only do you get a hit, you get a 6, then you've just gone from getting no hits to at least 2, potentially 3 if you're using that Manticore against like an enemy vehicle. That is one hell of a 5-point upgrade. Yeah, Morning Glory, that's only going to happen like what, 1 in 6 times? 1 in 36 times? Every 6th game you'll re-roll it into a 6. Yeah, maybe. But it's 5 points. It's, you know, have you taken a fluffy power sword upgrade on your officer that he's never ever used ever, but you like it? Take that out and put an auger array in, and 1 in every 6 games, you're gonna get potentially 2 free damage 3 shots. And if you get 6s to hit, it becomes an auto wound straight through on a lot of stuff as well. I mean, that's pretty crazy when you think about the potential, the peak that this could reach with a full payload Manticore. You could go from getting no hits to getting a 6 to hit, which is 1 automatic wounding damage 3 shot and 2 more strength 10 AP, well, if you play shock troops, could be AP 3, but let's say AP 2 flat damage 3 shots. It's really big. It has a potential to really explode. Obviously, that's very small. There's a very small likelihood. It's a 1 in 6 chance to happen. I'm not perfectly statistics. Someone might say it's 1 in 36 something, but it's a very small chance of happening. It's not a reliable strategy, but it's worth chucking 5 points at. Like I said, look at your army list right now. Are you taking a fluff upgrade? Are you taking a power fist on a company commander? Has he ever used that power fist? Has he ever really, apart from that one game when it was really epic, has he ever got mileage out of that power fist? No. But what if you took away that power fist and instead got 2 auger arrays for your manticores? Should be 1 in every 3 games that you get a big swing with those auger arrays. Potentially. Like I said, I'm no statistic expert, so someone might be looking at me right now and going, Morning Glory, you seriously need to go back to school. You've no idea how statistics work. My point is, there's a chance. What I'm saying is, there's a chance. What I'm saying is that it's not a big upgrade, it's not a big points investment, and it's worth a punt. Now, some people will say, Morning Glory, if you've taken auger arrays, you should take hunter killer missiles because they can. Then you can get the reroll to hit on the hunter killer. That's really, really good. I'm not a big fan of doing that, and the reason I'm not a big fan of doing that is the hunter killer missiles are good, but they're cheap, and when you start spending auger arrays on them, suddenly the hunter killer missile isn't so cheap. It's good, but it isn't so cheap. So I'm not totally against slapping auger arrays and hunter killer missiles together. I'm just not totally in love with it either. I see the merit of it, but I kind of feel like the best way of using this thing is a couple of full pellet manticores, a couple of auger arrays, and once every tournament, you should get a nice return on that. I get like almost potentially a game or at least turn changing situation. So that's what I'm thinking. What do you guys think about the auger array? What are some other interesting combos that you've worked it with? I'm thinking it works well with flat damage 3 and the fact that Guard has got access to quite a bit of flat damage 3 now. That's where my mind's going. But what do you guys think? Are we realistically, are we in a situation where lists are too lead? There aren't any fluff upgrades anymore. There's no room for this kind of stuff. We need things that are going to be reliable every single game. I could totally agree with that. I'm not against it. All I'm doing with this video is kind of highlighting it, and I'm hoping that a few people will watch the video and go, oh yeah, it'd be kind of cool if I could get some a couple of rerolls here and there on my full pellet manticores and on my gatekeeper. That'd be kind of cool, wouldn't it? And if that's what this video does, that would be great. Like I said, it's more just I'm posing the question out there to the community. I've made my case. I'm really interested to know what the feedback's going to be from you guys. So anyway, we'll leave the video there. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you have, please consider giving it the old like and subscribe. And if you've really enjoyed it, please consider becoming a channel member or Patreon supporter. This channel genuinely lives and dies on the support of my channel members and of my Patreon supporters. So I want to say a massive thank you to everyone who signed up to the channel membership. They're doing their part. Would you like to know more? It's Starship Troopers references the channel membership level. But also I want to say a huge thank you to my channel Patreon supporters. You guys are absolutely fantastic. This channel genuinely would have closed long ago if it hadn't been for the long-term and generous support of the channel Patreons. And if you're interested in becoming a channel Patreon, there's a link down in the description below. But just want to say a massive thank you to you guys. You guys know how much I appreciate you, and just want to say a massive thank you. But we'll leave it there. Thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed today's video, and of course, I'll see you guys next time.